Okay, I was just doing that so the stream, until the stream starts. So if you've got Hell's Itch, it probably feels something like maybe pins and needles or feathers or like really itchy grass all over you. It's probably going to be the worst of it for 2 to 6 hours, just endurable pain that makes you want to scream and yell and run around. And there may be some buildup before that or a long tail. The whole ordeal might be 24 to 48 hours. And essentially what you've got is two problems. You've got the burn and then you have the itch. And the problem is that you need to treat the burn in order to get rid of the itch, but treating the burn might make the itch worse. So here's some things that you can do. So first of all, over-the-counter medications. I've got this listed in the description. Actually, let me check real quick because I want to give the generic terms that are the right ones. So something Dramine, it's Diphenhydramine, it's Benadryl in the United States. Benadryl tablets, it's typically, I'm not your doctor, if you've got a medical condition, you've got a medical condition, but typically it's safe to double dose on that. I double dosed on it. I'm also a big guy, so a double dose for me is really maybe more like a normal dose. But Benadryl tablets, Ibuprofen, which is marketed as either Advil or Motrin in the United States, and then Acetaminophen, which I think is Tylenol in the United States and might be Paracetamol in Europe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But that one you don't want to double dose on. Do not double dose on Tylenol. Generally speaking, Benadryl, Advil, safe to double dose on. I double dosed on it. But acetaminophen is not something that you double dose on, even though it's over the counter. It is the most dangerous over the counter medication and causes the most complications in the United States, I think, for the liver or something like that. Anyway, so the Benadryl may help with the itch. It won't get rid of it, but it will help and may help and will get you to sleep. And that is important. The ibuprofen will help, and the Tylenol and ibuprofen are safe to take together, as is Benadryl. Generally speaking, you can talk to your doctor, whatever. But those will help with the burn, not the itch. But they'll help with the inflammation, with the burn. Also, you want to drink, say, a liter of water, and then repeat that throughout the day over the course, maybe in 4 or 8 more hours, something like that. You probably want to drink another liter of water, another liter of water. Your pee should be coming out clear and you should be peeing too much. And you want that to hydrate your skin. Also, put on like a fitted shirt or something so that you have some pressure against your skin and don't scratch. Okay, so with that out of the way, let me take it a little bit slower. Hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill. Welcome to Health, Wealth, and Commitment, where I teach you how to win at life from the bias of my own experience. And I am talking about today Hell's Itch. And for those of you that don't know, I was just talking fast because the person that's watching this that needs it just wants to know what the heck do I do, because they are jumping up and down. They are screaming. People are thinking that they're crazy. And it's because they are having basically a fake sensation of itching, which means that it pretty much can't be medicated by any of the normal means you would medicate, because it's related to sunburn. It seems to be particularly in really, really white people, which there's been a resurgence in since Corona, because everybody was staying indoors and not getting sun. And now that people are venturing out and getting sun, more people are getting this Hell's Itch. And it seems to be what's related to. And it's not in the skin. It's not like the intensity of the sunburn. I didn't have a particularly bad sunburn, but it's more, I think, to do if you're really, really white and you get a mild plus sunburn, and it's more like a burning of the nerves, it seems to be. There's a lot of websites out there. They're pretty much all fake. They're not people that have actually had this problem. They're just those clickbait, auto-generated content sites. And I do have my own article in the description if you want to check that out, where I kind of list everything that I'm saying here. So anyway, let me get back to it. So we talked about the most important things. Medications you can take, those are going to take half an hour. So another thing that I'd recommend, if you do have Hell's Itch, obviously you don't want to scratch it. Scratching it's going to make it worse. If you have put any sort of moisturizer or lotion or anything on your skin that is not 100% pure aloe vera, or very close to that, or it's not helping you, I would recommend go taking a shower, whether you want to try the hot shower method or the cool shower. I don't know. I would go with a cool shower. Personally, that's what I did. But you want to get any of that stuff off of you. Any medicated ointments, you probably want to get off of you because they're probably making it worse. And then you want to pat yourself dry. Obviously, you don't want to rub because you have a sunburn. What I did, one thing that seemed to give me relief was taking a colloidal oatmeal bath. Now that means you or somebody has to go find that at a store maybe. But it basically is a bath that won't cause you to dry out, because you get out of the shower, it's going to dry out your skin. If it dries out your skin, obviously that's going to make your burn worse. That's going to also probably make your itch worse. So you don't want your skin to dry out, but also, as you've probably noticed, putting creams or moisturizers on it also feels like it makes it worse. So you're kind of in a lose-lose situation. As soon as I got out of the bath and I patted myself down, it started up again, but it did give me some temporary relief to kind of like get my head on straight. And the colloidal oatmeal is kind of a moisturizer that's, I guess, safe for babies. So what I would recommend is I would recommend using non-medicated aloe vera. It probably will make it worse, the sensation in the short term. But hopefully through this process, it gives the Benadryl some time to kick in, and so you'll get a little bit of itch relief, probably not complete relief, but like bearable relief from that, and it'll make you sleepy enough that you can sleep through the rest. So that's basically what you want to get to. You're going to take a sick day. That's just the way that it is. So it also helps. I think I said this before. If you have like an undershirt type of thing, that kind of sticks more closely to you, something that's not too loose. It's easier to deal with if you have that on. It definitely feels less worse when you've got a shirt on. But I would say try to get some real aloe vera. Maybe if you can get it as a mist, because if you get it as a sticky gel, it's probably going to make things feel worse. And if you get medicated, that make it feel worse. I tried. So I've got a blog article here that I've linked in the description. Actually, let me get that up on the screen, and I'll just show you this real quick if I can. There we are. So in this, I kind of go through all the things that I tried, and then like what worked for me and what didn't work and what made things worse. I believe that the medicated ointments made things worse. They didn't make things better because they are trying to target a problem that isn't the problem that you're having. In particular, the hydrocortisone was terrible. Spraying hydrocortisone on my skin was like spraying fire ants on my skin, except I don't know what fire ants feel like, but it was bad. That one was really, really bad. The lidocaine and the camphor, I think, it's more the gel made it worse, but I don't know that the medication made any difference whatsoever. I would not recommend using a moisturizing lotion because a lot of them are not what you think they are. So for example, my wife has one. I would not recommend any product marketed towards females because they have lots of weird stuff in it, because it's more about beauty than it is about actual, health. So my wife had one that actually had acetate in it, which I believe is the what nail polish remover. Like, it eats through skin. That's the kind of, I think they also use it for pimple creams because it's supposed to like clean out pores and stuff. You definitely don't want a moisturizer that has acid in it. I think it also had the something antifreeze, the PEG stuff. So if you get a moisturizer, you probably want one that's very simple. And if you start to apply it and you know that it's not helping or that it's making things worse, you probably want to go rinse it off. I think a simple aloe vera with no medications, no alcohols, no acids, no crazy stuff in it will probably actually help you, even if the application of the aloe vera in the next 5 minutes feel worse, because your skin does need some help healing. What I found was that kind of practicing my Zen. So just like breathe in, breathe out, I breathed out first, but practicing my Zen and just kind of like acknowledging the pain and letting it be was really the best thing once I'd taken the medication. Now I had to kind of practice my Zen. I went and I laid in bed and I just like didn't itch, and I got the blanket close, and I did that for 20 or 30 minutes. And at that point, I pretty much fell asleep. But the tingles and the itchy, like as I willfully ignored it, which was a lot of will, because that it is incredibly painful and incredibly aggravating and agonizing. And I did have a pillow that I was screaming into occasionally, but I was keeping my hands away from my body, and I was trying to breathe and trying to let things be. and just enduring it for 20 minutes. I don't know if it was because the Benadryl was kicking in, because that's probably about that time frame, but it was lessening, and I was able to get to a point where, although I was itchy, I was able to sleep. And I woke up the next morning and I felt better, and then I started feeling worse again. So I took some more Benadryl, and then I slept through it, and then it felt better. And by that evening, so about 24 hours later, it was bearable. And it did have a few hour lead in. I also found that using a memory foam pillow and like laying back against that was also really helpful. And I also found, let's see, hold on, I'm just moving something on my screen here so I can see if my face is in the way. I did some cool water on towels and just like laying that across me on the front. So I had the memory foam in the back and like laying some wet towels across. Just having that contact with the skin seemed to help. But then after a bit, as it starts to warm up, as you start to get used to it, it starts to get itchy. So really, I think the best thing was just ignoring it and going to sleep. So again, I would avoid the lidocaine and the camphor, and especially the hydrocortisone. Again, you may find that what works for you is different. If you have had those things on you, I would recommend taking a shower to wash them off, but then that's going to dry out your skin. So again, I know that it's probably going to feel worse in the moment, but I think over the course of the next several hours and then the next day or so, it's going to feel better. If you don't put a big, thick, you don't want to do that. You don't want to coat yourself in aloe vera, because then it's going to be all nasty and itchy all in its own right. But just like a normal, smooth application, have somebody help you with that, get that on there, then it will probably be all right. So I think that's kind of all the information that I've got for you. I wish you well, because it is hellish. It's absolutely terrible. So I got mine on a Monday because I refused to put my shirt on, because I hate, or not refuse to put my shirt on. I want to take my shirt off, and I refuse to wear sunscreen because I hate the feeling on my skin of sunscreen. And I've had sunburns in the past, but nothing like this. And I think it's because I was so exceedingly white from not having gone out in the sun much at all in the past year. That might have been the contributing factor why I got the hell's itch. And it took about 2 days before I started getting like a real itching sensation. The sunburn really wasn't that bad. I was out for an hour. It looked worse than it felt, for sure. I mean, it's still a bit red, and now it's Friday. So from Monday to Friday, that's 5 days. But the worst of it lasted about, it lasted several hours, and it could have been not so bad if I'd known what to do. But I was looking at these stupid fake medical websites where you got people that are just basically giving bad advice because they're not doctors, and they're not basing it on any real experience. They're just pretending to be a medical website. And because not many people are talking about this, it, bubbles up to the top of the search results. And so, yeah, just like ignore that garbage unless it's a real doctor or somebody who's actually had experience with it. Don't pay attention to anything that you read online. And let's see if there's anything else that I missed here. Yeah, so you're going to have to wait it out. It's going to be painful. Even if you, and definitely don't triple dose on things, I think. Don't triple dose on Benadryl. But, if hopefully the Benadryl, I didn't feel like the Benadryl worked for me. I thought that it was more the ignoring everything, because I did take some Benadryl, and then I don't know. Things got worse once I got the other creams though too, because I got the other creams and I put them on, and then I rinsed off, and then it wasn't so bad. So it's hard to keep the order of operations in my mind, because basically when this was happening, it's like my first priority was I'm just going to get like the highest strength stuff I can find over the counter at Walmart, and then I went from there. Anyway, so if I can give maybe a brief recap here, it starts about 2 days after the sunburn. Doesn't matter about the intensity of the sunburn. Might feel like itchy grass, pins and needles, feathers. It's going to last. The horrible part is going to be between 2 and 6 hours, depending on whether you're able to get the right medication and like figure out how to just breathe and deal with it, and let your mind exercise its will over body while things start taking effect and not scratching, and like I said, memory foam, laying on some memory foam, pulling it into you, putting a cloth over, keeping a shirt on, not going bare, because you want something touching your skin. You don't want to itch it though. It's kind of nerve related thing, You've got Benadryl, Tylenol, Advil. You can take all of those simultaneously, talk to your doctor about it, whatever, but just generally speaking, it's safe to take those three things simultaneously. Plenty of water, because that's going to help your skin heal. And probably aloe vera, colloidal oatmeal, not lidocaine, camphor, hydrocortisone. And yeah, so if this was useful for you, if it helps you, give it a like. If you're interested in generally, I'm not talking about like health or medication or anything, but I'm just talking about like general life tips. I just happen to go through Hell's Itch this week, and so makes a good topic. But if you're interested in that, go ahead and subscribe. I also teach programming on another channel. All that's down in the doobly-doo. I wish you a much better time than you're having right now. It will be okay. It will end, is the good news. You are going to make it through this. There will be some trial and error in terms of you're going to watch other videos. Different people are having different experiences, but you will live. So with that, I wish you the best. I feel your pain. I hear you, except that I don't hear you because this is recorded and obviously I can't hear you, but I get you. Adios.